Hi, my name is Terry. This short video is about my AI API Sandbox project. This is a work in progress, but it's advanced enough to make this first version of a video intro to the project. So what we see here is the Wiki main page. AI drones was a previous project of mine. What we're going to talk about is the AI API Sandbox. And we're going to be following pretty much what you see down here in the footer. And I'll be talking about what's here in the right panel. This right panel kind of sums up everything we're going to talk about. Let's go to the AI API Sandbox. This page is a summary of the API Sandbox project. And let's first go to the Sandbox concepts, talk about those. So the Sandbox project has three goals. I'm wanting to create examples of my work, wanting to get hands-on experience with a wide range of tools, and create useful tech docs. And the tech docs would be this wiki and the G drive. My G drive has, I think, over 200 documents. Basically, I go through different kinds of demos, and all the details are there, what I did. So those are the main project goals. There's only 3 of them. The project evolution, this project started out as the original idea was to cover API docs. Then it expanded to include APIs and stacks, and about 2 months ago it expanded to include AIs, large language models. We have dev tools, coding assistance, Swagger generation, etc. And recently I've come to the idea of having chat and customer service components in the actual project. So the project has a main deployment, one single main deployment. This diagram sums it up. It has a stack, which is a MERN stack with a front end, back end, and a database. And then it has the non-stack portion, which is primarily documentation. So the stack is a MERN stack, and then we have the non-stack. This non-stack documentation stack includes like a main, includes websites, this YouTube videos, then Postman, and then different ways of creating documents and AI chat. So for more details about this, about the main stack and the non-stack, we come over here to the right panel and we look at the main stack. And the main stack includes URLs. The main stack is, I've experimented on a lot of different tools. So if I show you here on the right side, the MERN stacks, I've done quite a few MERN stacks, but also other kinds of stacks. Back ends, front ends, a lot of experimentation. And after a while, I chose one as the main deployment. And if we go to this main deployment, when you have URLs here, when you try to open these up, they may take about a minute to come up because I'm on a free plan for the render that I deploy them on. So it takes a little while to get everything up. But the URLs are there. The deployment is an old what I've deployed on there is kind of old right now, but this shows what I've been developing locally. A REST API, Swagger UI, generated by Copilot, a GraphQL API, the database, the front end with GraphQL mutation, with a basic code box, and with Java Web Token security. So this sums up the main stack. Now, if we go to this doc deployment, now this sums up the doc deployment. We have websites. This is a ZipTie AI. These websites were created for my drone project. Here I was flying test drones in my kitchen, on my kitchen table. It's an interesting way to test a drone. That's kind of my original idea. So we have the main site, we have a blog. This is new. I still have to work out a lot of the details with how to format it. We have the docs site. And we have Postman collections, Postman API docs. When I talked before, one of the things I want to do is take my lab notes, my docx files on the G drive, and use AI to create documents from those. And number 318 on the G drive, you go down here and get 318. 318 is a document that shows a demo that I did that basically shows how to do this. But that's in the pipeline there, planned. And so then having chat in that's also a plan, and this at the end here describes agents and RAG that would be used to various ways of using AI to create documentation, interactive API documentation. So that right there has been the main doc deployments. And the G drive lab notes are here on the G drive, which I just showed you. And we also have a Git, which has quite a few little repositories. Those are all my test repositories mainly. And so that sums up everything. We've gone through pretty much everything shown here at the bottom in the footer of this wiki. A thing I wanted to add about all these projects Git is I've been extremely careful with keys to make sure that there are no API keys, there's no tokens in any of these documents. So now, that was the Sandbox concepts. We have about the author. This is a small summary of myself, a summary of my own background. My email, my LinkedIn, account, and summary of my hobbies and my professional focus. So the last thing I want to talk about are AI concepts. This last page I have here. AI has become really a central focus of this project. My own personal take on AI. AI is really fantastic stuff. I could not have done this project without AI, without Copilot, without Google search. And the combination of good data, AI, and intelligent people really makes everything work. But AI is basically, the large language models are basically a digital version of a card catalog. That's how I view them. And AI has no intelligence. Garbage in, garbage out. You understand this when you work with AI. Garbage, you're only getting what somebody else put into the model. But the key about this AI is Typically when you're learning new things, you have to go to websites. They're very verbose, endless documents, useless text, verbiage, poor organization. AI answers your questions. You ask ChatGPT, you ask Copilot a question, they give you an answer. That is revolutionary. So that has changed everything. And Jensen Huang, a couple days ago, I was doing a demo and it recommended updating the drivers for my NVIDIA GPU on my laptop. And I hesitated, but I did it. Now my GPU doesn't work. GPU drivers for NVIDIA are an absolute nightmare. On the drone project, I worked with drones and companion computers for drones using NVIDIA mini computers, and the drivers were just a nightmare. Well, the man who runs NVIDIA says that you don't need to learn to program anymore. You don't need any. You just ask AI to do everything for you. So the boss of this company that creates these drivers that won't even work, that it's just a nightmare to get my GPU running, is telling us all that AI will do everything for us in the future. That's like a few years ago you had self-driving cars. And we were all told, hey, just a few years, cars are all going to drive themselves. You don't need to know how to drive. And that, of course, was a marketing gimmick. And the latest marketing gimmick is this AI. And this has been going on for 40 years. 40 years ago, they were saying the same thing. Oh, AI is going to take over everything soon. But AI is great stuff. And it's really great stuff. So I recently took a community college class. They said, no AI. AI is bad. It's cheating. But AI was the only way that it made, only thanks to AI was I able to complete the class final project, because the course materials and the organization of the class was so chaotic. I used AI, I made progress, I got things done, which is what you need to do. AI excels at tasks that humans don't. And a dev team I was working on a few years ago had a meeting where they discussed the new Git Copilot AI tool. They said Copilot made it much easier to program. But the problem was Copilot might mean the end of their future. They had a lot of low-level expertise that all of a sudden didn't matter that much anymore, because you could get that by searching. GitHub Copilot could show you so many things that previously only they knew. This select group of people. And they didn't like that. But I say, this is what makes everything fantastic about AI. Is you're not going to be wasting your time on endless low-level problems like in the past. I think there's one video I recommend that sums up the future of software dev in the AI world. You're going to be using AI. AI world. Future devs you're going to use AI. You're going to know frameworks. And you're going to be able to work with any code base. That's basically what I've been trying to do with this big project of the AI Sandbox. It's just take a huge breadth of tools in a rather short time. And I've been able to do it thanks to AI. So I would definitely say for anybody, embrace the future. And that is exactly what the AI Sandbox, this API Sandbox is about. And that's my intro, that's my video. It's about 15 minutes, it's not that short, but not too long. So thanks for watching. This is the first version. I'll work on improving this in the future.